What's up, folks? I'm Chris, your MLB writer here at Occupy Fantasy, here with a look at the main slate on Wednesday, May 4th. On FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo have a split slate day, big afternoon slate, but an even bigger evening slate, 7-game slate to look at this evening. That's what we'll be focusing on here in this video. As always, first thing that we like to look at when we're deciding how to build a lineup is the pitching on the slate. And there are a couple of options that stand out from the pack for us tonight. It'll be Lucas Giolito with the Chicago White Sox and Freddie Peralta with the Milwaukee Brewers. I do want to spend a little more time on Peralta in this video. Peralta with a 12.1 strikeout per 9 innings ratio over the last year of starts. That averages out to about 1.34 strikeouts per innings pitched. And you see we have him projected for 1.32 strikeouts per inning tonight against the Cincinnati Reds, who are one of the worst lineups in baseball. In fact, they are the worst lineup in terms of generating DraftKings points per plate appearance, averaging just 3 DraftKings points per plate appearance. That is a league low. The Reds are also striking out at the highest rate in Major League Baseball over the last 30 days at 26.1% of their plate appearances. Seems like a really good spot for minus 305 favorite Freddie Peralta to get there. He may be the guy you just kind of slot in on DraftKings and FanDuel tonight as the first starting pitcher. There is an argument to be made for our number one option, however, obviously, Lucas Giolito of the Chicago White Sox. Much safer option than Michael Kopech was last night against the Chicago Cubs. He's our number one pitcher in the model, projected for 1.24 strikeouts per innings pitched against the Cubs. The Cubs are moving to the wrong side of the strikeout table as a club. They're now 18th in Major League Baseball in terms of how often they strike out. So pretty attractive matchup here for Giolito against the Cubs as well. Looking at StatCast numbers, who's been getting hit hard lately that we may want to be leery of? Looks like the fastest average batted ball exit velocity belongs to Kyle Bradish of the Baltimore Orioles. I believe this will be his second start of his Major League career against the Minnesota Twins. So the Twins may be an interesting high-risk option. We'll look at our stacks dashboard in a second to see what that says. Patrick Corbin with the Washington Nationals. Bad exit velocity against, bad batted ball distance against over the last couple of starts of his. Corbin is pitching against the Rockies at Coors tonight. Minus 17% park adjustment, minus 5% weather adjustment. I have a feeling I know exactly what our top stack dashboard is going to say about this slate today. Yep, it's going to tell us that we should be rostering the Rockies with a rather large disparity between the Rockies ranking, OF Index ranking, and everybody else on the slate with a 59 here as a team. That's just the aggregated cumulative score of all the hitters in the lineup. And then the Yankees basically 10 full points below that as a team tonight. So you can expect the Rockies to be the most popular play in DFS lineups, and for a really good reason. Diving into the matchup specifically, Corbin allows an elite isolated slugging and weighted on base average to hitters from either side of the plate. That jives pretty well with his batted ball data from StatCast lately too. Corbin is a left-handed pitcher. There are some hitters in the Rockies lineup that I would advocate you focus on if you are going to be playing popular Rockies hitters tonight. Those would be Connor Joe, CJ Cron, Elias Diaz if he gets to start at catcher, and Brendan Rodgers. These guys all have an elite 385 weighted on base average or higher against left-handed pitching, and elite isolated slugging numbers as well in the matchup. So those would probably be the most ideal Rockies to target if you were playing just the straight-up popular plays on the slate. My favorite pivot off of that looks like those same Milwaukee Brewers that Freddie Peralta is pitching for. Now, why do I say that? We do like to target some of the pitchers that are ranked at the bottom of the pitcher model because we have a pretty good feeling about how our pitcher model ranks these options. So if a pitcher is going to be the worst pitcher on the slate, that probably means we like the upside of their offense tonight. So there's certainly a case to be made for Alex Wood being the worst pitcher on the slate and therefore stacking the Dodgers. The Dodgers are pretty expensive, and Wood himself is actually a fairly decent pitcher. So I'm actually looking at the next spot up, and I'm targeting Vladimir Gutierrez with the Cincinnati Reds. Second lowest pitcher in the Occupy model, has this massive line movement against him in markets because everybody's backing the Brewers tonight. So if we're interested in Peralta, and we see this movement against the Reds, we should probably be interested in Brewers hitters. And they happen to be our third favorite stack on the night in the Occupy model. They do have the second highest implied team total on this main slate and the second highest of the entire day. So they will probably be popular, but nowhere near as popular as people focusing on core stacks tonight. I only pull these things together and put a lineup together. Looking at DraftKings, you can go with Giolito. You can go with 5 Rockies. That's what I've done here that have really good rankings in the Occupy model this evening. You still have $39.75 per player to get something done here. You could probably even throw Peralta on here. And now it's tough. $23.33 per player left if you try to jam both these pitchers and play all of these expensive Rockies with them. There is another way to maybe get Rockies in your lineup that doesn't have an exorbitant price tag, and it is doing exactly what I was just talking about a few seconds ago here. I do think it is playing these Milwaukee Brewers in your lineup tonight. So definitely think Rowdy Tellez, Willy Adames, Colton Wong. I'm going to get some of those guys in here. See what that looks like from a salary perspective, playing our top pitchers. So Vladimir Gutierrez with the Reds is even worse against left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters. So we should be placing an extra priority on Colton Wong, Christian Yelich, Rowdy Tellez, and even catcher Omar Narvaez for that reason. So if Narvaez draws the start tonight, I think he would be my next Brewer that I'd want to get in the lineup. And now you see we have $3,700 per player remaining. We could probably afford now to play a Rockies mini stack potentially, depending on who's in the starting lineup tonight. I do think that's probably the path tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I do think a lot of people are going to be playing the Rockies heavily, so we have to figure out how to navigate that based off of the types of contests we're playing. Over on FanDuel, same thing. You can get 4 high upside Brewer bats in here, potentially bring alongside some Rockies bats on top of this to finish out your lineup. $32.75 per player remaining in this particular start that I have. You could drop from Giolito down to Freddie Peralta and have even more to work with. Very interesting slate tonight. There is a lot to come. We will have the Occupy Fantasy Daily Plug posted by about 5:30 p.m. Eastern on our website. In there, we will have our final top plays for the slate based off confirmed starting lineups. Obviously, if you want to talk about MLB DFS up until then, you can consider joining our Discord. There's a link to do so below the description of the video. And as always, we will talk to you tomorrow for more MLB DFS.